In the South Pool this afternoon, your referees are Susanna Carden and Leslie Murray. Your starter, Paul Kendall. And your technical director, Andrew Cowan. Whilst in the North Pool this afternoon, your referees, David Broomhall and Sue Barker. Your starter, Phil Warren. And your tech director, Ruth Christian. Officials, you may be seated.
Is event 301, the women's 200 meters backstroke. There are 6 heats and there are going to be 73.
Let's go, Sophie!
Let's start with heat number 4.
In the South Pool, we have event 302, which is the men's 200 meters backstroke. We start with the fastest 3 heats, and we begin with heat number 5. In heat number 5 in the South Pool, we have swimming in lane 0 from Bristol, Manfred Battle. In lane 1 from Manchester Met, Tom Poulton. In 2 from Swansea, Thomas Beamer. In 3 from Plymouth Marjon, Harry Noble. In 5 from Bath, Jonathan Adam, who was the fastest at the 50-10 in a 27.35. In 6 from Edinburgh, Scott Gibson. In 7 from Sheffield, Samuel Greenbank. And in 9 from Leeds, Thomas Hill. And at the halfway mark, Jonathan Adam from Bath continuing to lead the way just by about half a body length.
All swimmers that competed in heat 4 of the 200 meters backstroke, please go to the event desk at the end once we enter into the water. So all swimmers in that heat, please go to the event desk.
And we're coming into the final 5 meters here for our swimmers in heat number 5 in the South Pool. Jonathan Adam of Bath, he clocks a 1:58.59 to take heat 5. Second going to Thomas Beamer of Swansea in a 2:09, and third to Harry Noble and Marjon in 2:03.88. In the South Pool, we move on to heat number 6.
From Lancaster, 8 Alicia Enslin from BUCS New, and at 9 Sarah Campbell from Kent. An update on heat number 4 of the women's 200 meters backstroke. That will now be taking place after the 3 heats in the first round of heats of the 200 meters breaststroke. So immediately after the 3 fastest heats of the 200 meters breaststroke, that will be when the 200 meters back heat 4 will be swung.
And in the Southball in Heat 6, we do have swimming in lane 0 from Surrey, Joe Davies. In 1 from Sheffield Hallam, Adam Wilson. In 2 from Sheffield Hallam, Simon Clement. In 3 from Swansea, Joe Small. In lane 4 from Nottingham Trent, Charlie Brown. And it's Charlie who does touch first here to take heat number 6. And we do apologise that there are no times or even names on the scoreboard at the moment. We will try and rectify that and get the times up as soon as possible.
Now the fastest heat of the women's 200 backstroke in the North Pool, heat number 6. And the swimmers in the heat 6 of the women's 200 backstroke in lane 0, Holly Stead from Edge Hill. In 1, Lizzie Pilbridge from Sheffield Hallam. In 2, Megan Pye from East Anglia. In 3, Ellie Shields from Edinburgh. In 4, Iona Sasha from Edinburgh. In 5, Cassie Wilde from Stirling. 6, Evie Johns from Surrey. 7, Alexandra Waller from Birmingham. 8, Rowan McGill from Aberdeen. And in 9, Agnes Burns from Oxford. the next event, which is event 303, the women's 50 meters freestyle. There are 25 heats in this event, and we are swimming the fastest three now. This is heat 23. Touching first in the North Pool in a time of 25.87 seconds, Katie Robertson from Edinburgh. Second was Lottie O'Pan from Stirling, and third, Jemima Hall from Bath. And now in the North Pool, it's heat 24.
We do apologise for the delay in the Southpaw. We are trying to fix these issues as quickly as possible, and we do hope to get the swimming back up and running as quickly as we can. So we do apologise for the delay currently in the Southpaw.
And touching first in this North Pool, the North Pool, is Laura McNabb from Birmingham in 25.51, closely followed by Katie Goodburn from Edinburgh and Katie Clifton from Sheffield and Hallam. And now, the fastest heat for the women's 50 meters freestyle, this is heat 25. And touching first in this North Pool, Louise Hanson from Loughborough in a time of 24.66. Second was Rebecca Walk from Loughborough, and third was Jessica Telford from Birmingham. And now we go to event 305, the women's 200 meters breaststroke. There are 6 heats, and this will be the first of the seeded heats. It's heat number 4.
In the south pool, we move on to heat number 7 of the men's 200 meters backstroke. In the south pool then, for heat number 7, we have swimming in lane 0 from Newcastle, Samuel Naylor. In 1 from Stirling, Magomed Wali. In 2 from Stirling, Zach Speakman. In 3 from Loughborough, Charlie Hutchison. In 4 from Derby, Elliot Clogg. In 5 is Cam Brooker from Bath. In 6, Kia Edgar from Glasgow. In 7 from Birmingham, Oliver Morgan. In 8 from Bristol, Nicholas Skelton. And in 9 from Nottingham, Thomas Pickering.
Touching first on a very close race there is Beth Davis in lane 5, representing Sheffield Hallam in 2:28.06. Cara Hanlon was second for Edinburgh in 2 minutes 28.17, and Kerry Harris was third for Loughborough in 2 minutes 30.59. Now, in the North Pool, the women's 53 heat number 5.
In the south pool, we move on to event 304, which is the men's 50 meters freestyle. We're starting with the 3 fastest heats. We begin with heat 26.
The swimmers in the women's 200 meters breaststroke heat 5. In lane 0 is Hannah Sheen from Lancaster. In 1, Abigail Jackson from Birmingham. In 2, Jennifer Green from Swansea. 3, Kyra Fletcher from Nottingham Trent. In 4, Megan Morrison from Loughborough. In 5, Annabelle E. Johnson from Edinburgh. In 6, Laura Sharp from Swansea. 7, Ellie Ward from Nottingham. 8, Lucia Mondal from Oxford, and 9, Izzy Hepburn from Plymouth.
The next heat in the South Pool is heat 27.
Touching first in the North Pool, Megan Morrison from Loughborough in a time of 2:27.52, followed by Ciara Fletcher from Nottingham Trent in 2 minutes 30.45, and then Annabel D. Johnson from Edinburgh in 2 minutes 32.49.
Yep, Theo. Let's go.
And now, the final heat of the women's 200 metres breaststroke, heat number 6.
In the South Pool, we move on now to the final heat of the men's 50 freestyle, heat 28. Just a reminder to swimmers, we are doing over the top starts. We are doing over the top starts. You do not need to clear the pool unless, of course, you're doing backstroke later, but we are doing over the top starts.
And just a reminder that following this heat in the women's pool, the North Pool, we will be swimming the delayed heat 4 of the women's 200 metres backstroke. So following the 200 metres breaststroke, we'll have heat 4 of the women's 200 metres backstroke.
In the South Pool, we move on to now event 306, the men's 200 meters breaststroke. We begin with the fastest 3 heats, and we start with heat 4. Currently in heat number 4 in the South Pool, we have swimming in lane 0, Dan Cox. In 1, Jack Iverson. In 2, Josh Mitchell. In 3, Ben Harrison. In lane 4, Jonathan Rutter. In 5, Will Bell. In 6, Tom Beagley. In 7, Finley Wallace. In lane 8, Harry Brown. And in 9, Luke Howie.
Yes, Sophie. Let's go.
we are now going to do the rerun of heat 4 of event 301, the women's 200 meters backstroke. Heat number 4.
Yes, Sophie!
The next heat in the South Pool is heat number 5.
And the swimmers in the North Pool for the heat 4 of the women's 200 meters backstroke. In lane 0, we've got Jenny Beattie from Liverpool. In 1, Charlotte McClure from Hull. 2, Madeleine Soper from Nottingham. In 3, Sophie McGuire from Birmingham. In 4, Honey Osborne from Loughborough. In 5, Ellie Turner from Stirling. 6, Becca Sutton from Swansea. 7, Sophie O'Keefe from Cambridge. And in 9, Francesca Crocker from Sheffield Hallam.
In the South Pool, we have currently swimming in lane 0, Sam Hall from Cardiff. In 1, Ronnie Hester from Reading. In lane 2 from Manchester Met, Dan Kinsella. In 3 from Bath, David Miller. In 4, swimming for Loughborough, Greg Butler. In 5 from Stirling, Will Ellington. In 7 from Surrey, Alex Hicks. And in 9 from Leeds, Alex Curry.
And touching first in the North Pool is Honey Osborne from Loughborough, 2 minutes 11.25. In 2nd, Becca Sutton from Swansea, 2 minutes 30.67. And 3rd place, Ellie Turner from Stirling, in 2 minutes 15.33.
Yes, Yorgos! Let's go! Let's go!
So Greg Butler of Loughborough took heat 5 there in a time of 2:09.56. He also already qualified for the 50 final earlier this morning. The next heat in the South Pool is heat number 6. In the last of the fastest heats here for the men's 200 meters breaststroke, we have swimming in lane 0 from Salford, Joseph Fletcher. In 1 from Birmingham, Tom Hamilton. In 2 from Stirling, Don Bissett. In 3 from Stirling, Greg Fairbairn. In 4 from Edinburgh, Yushin Cook. In 5 from Cardiff Met, Conor Bryan. In 6 from Sheffield Hallam, Mikaela Rosenfeld. In 7 from Swansea, Dylan Gallagher. In 8 from Lancaster, Raphael Eleftheru. And in 9 from Cambridge, Georgios Papageorgiou.
And in the North Pool, the swimmers in the individuals freestyle in lane 0, Georgiana Thorne from Swansea. In 1, Elena Sinclair from Birmingham. In 2, Adol Zakriski from East Anglia. In 3, Ella Thatcher Plank from Edinburgh. In 4, Katie Taylor from Strathclyde. In 5, Shannon Dalligan from Birmingham. In 6, Katie Evans from Nottingham. In 7, Nellie Kinch from Nottingham. And 8, Amy Jones from Surrey. And 9, Emma Evans from Southampton.
Last time we did it, we went out in 1 inch. I think on this time we went out in a 7 back in the front. Yeah.
And in this third and final fastest heat of the 200 meters breaststroke in the South Pool, Yushin Cook from Edinburgh is dominating this heat here. He's currently nearly about 7 meters ahead and still pulling away here as he comes into the final couple of strokes. He already qualified for the 50 breaststroke this evening and he clocks a 2:09.04 to take heat number 6. He's a good 6 seconds ahead of our nearest competitor. That was Stirling's Greg Fairbairn, who clocked a 2:15.77 to come in second, and Conor Bryan of Cardiff met third there in a 2:16.25. The official results are on the scoreboard. In the South Pool, we move on to event 312, which is the men's 800 meters freestyle. This is a heat declared winning event. We have 2 heats and we begin with heat number 1. So in heat number 1, we have swimming in lane 0 from Nottingham, Joseph Palmer. In 1 from Sheffield Hallam, Theo Clark. In 2 from Nottingham Trent, Joseph Kingsland. In 3 from Manchester, Jevon Penny. In 4 from Birmingham, Ben Newell. In 5 from Glasgow, Marshall Illingworth. In 6 from Edinburgh, Jude Lydiard. In 7 from Bath, Aidan Mitchell. In 8 from Sheffield Hallam, Finley Chapman. And in 9 from Strathclyde, Michael Flynn.
And with 200 metres to go in the South Pool, North Pool, it's Nelly Kicks from Nottingham, leading with 6 minutes 36.52, followed by Katie Hammond from Nottingham at 6 minutes 48.07.
So with 24 lengths to go here in the South Pool, we've got 2 swimmers leading the way in lanes 6 and 7. They were pretty much neck and neck in the previous 50. That's Jude Lydiard of Edinburgh and Aidan Mitchell of Bath in lanes 6 and 7. We're about a body length up on Joseph Kingsland of Nottingham Trent, who lies in that 3rd place position.
And touching first in the North Pool is Nelly Kicks from Nottingham in a time of 8 minutes 48.60. And that sets the time to be in his heat declared winner, with the 2nd heat following shortly. With Katie Hammond touching in 2nd place in 9 minutes 2.97.
In the South Pool, we're coming up to just 400 metres left to go now here. We're at the halfway mark, and leading out is Jude Lydiard of Edinburgh in a 4:06.87. Second there, Michael Flynn of Strathclyde in lane number 9, but also do look out for lane 2, Joseph Kingsland in the Nottingham Trent, who's also vying for that second place position.
And now, in the North Pool, it's heat number 2, the fastest heat of the women's 800 metres freestyle.
in Southpool with just 225 meters to go. The leadership has changed here. And it's Joseph Kingsland who leads the way just ahead of Michael Flynn of Strathclyde.
And in heat 2 of the women's 800 meters freestyle, in lane 0 we have Rebecca Flisher from Birmingham. In lane 1 we have Katie Taylor from Edinburgh. In 2, Em Clark from Loughborough. In 3, Alice Gearing from Loughborough. In 4, Leah Crisp from Bath. 5, Michaela Glenster from Stirling. In 6, Meg Finnan from Stirling. In 7, Belinda Britton from the UCL. In 8, Lucky Wynne Jones from Bath. And in 9, Marion Hankett from Loughborough.
In the Southpool, our leader, Joseph Kingsland, turns with 100 meters to go. He clocks a 7:17.27 at the 700 meter mark. He has still got about a body length lead off on Michael Flynn of Strathclyde. And currently in third place position, about 5 meters behind then, was our early leader, Jude Lydiard from Edinburgh. So into now our swimmers can see two lengths left to go and hear that whistle that they've been longing for here through this 800. Final 2 lengths for this heat, number 1 of the 800 meters freestyle. It is a heat declared winning event. They will have to wait and see if their time here in this heat will be fast enough to medal against those in the second heat coming up. But yes, final 15 meters now, and it's a race between Michael Flynn from Strathclyde in 9, Joseph Kingsland of Nottingham and Trent in 10, couple of strokes to go, and Michael Flynn from Strathclyde takes it. He does so in a time of 8:18.47, and that's a good 26 seconds off his entry time. Second to Joseph Kingsland of Nottingham and Trent in 8:19.35, and third to Jude Lydiard of Edinburgh in 8:22.68. In the Southpool, now we move on to the final heat of the men's 800 meters freestyle. It's heat number 2. In the southpaw, in this heat number 2 of the men's 800 meters freestyle, we have swimming in lane 0 from Stirling, Jack Munsey. In 1 from Sheffield Hallam, Ben Cope. In 2 from Birmingham City, Thomas Davidson. In 3 from Loughborough, Tobias Robinson. In 4 from Loughborough, Felix Obiak. In 5 from Loughborough, Daniel Whiffen. In 6 from Swansea, Joseph Dane. In 7 from Stirling, Charlie Poole. In 8, Josh Williams for Swansea. And in 9, Liam McLaughlin from Edinburgh. In the southpaw, we've got 550 meters to go, and as you can see here, there's 3 swimmers in the central lanes who are turning pretty simultaneously at the moment, and stroke for stroke as we come through this length. They are in lanes 3, Tobias Robinson of Loughborough, 4, Felix Obiak from Loughborough, and also in 5 from Loughborough, Daniel Whiffen. So it's an all Loughborough out in front at the moment, and Tobias, he won the 1500 last night, and Daniel, he got the silver, so they'll be fighting it out again in this 800 meters freestyle. In the southpaw now, our leaders are coming up to Well, with 200 meters left to go indeed, and we've now got two who are out in front. Out of those three Loughborough men here, we've got Tobias and Felix next to each other, breathing and looking at each other at the moment as they look over the lane rope. But Tobias versus Felix leading out in front now by about a body length ahead of their teammate Daniel Whiffen, as we come up to just the six lengths left to go here in this 800 meters freestyle. It is a heat declared winning event. Tobias, he won the gold in the 1500 last night. Can he win the gold again in the 800 and do the double? We'll see if he can shake off his teammates as we come to the final 100 meters. And we can hear the whistles here in the South Pool to signal just 2 lengths to go for our leaders, the Loughborough swimmers, Tobias and Felix in lanes 3 and 4. At the moment, as we come into the final turn, Felix looks like he's just got the edge ahead of the 1500 meters winner, Tobias. Daniel Whiffen, also Loughborough, in 3rd place position. But last couple of strokes for this 800. Oh, what a finish there, but it's Felix from Loughborough who clocks a 7:44.25. That is nearly 5 whole seconds faster than the previous BUCS record. That BUCS record was a 7:49. So wow, Felix and Tobias pushing each other both really hard here to go both underneath the previous BUCS championship record. That stood from 2008. So wow, how old was that? And that was set by David Davis, also of Loughborough, but what a great swim from Felix and Tobias. Felix, congratulations. That was a new BUCS record time of 7:44.25. Second, Tobias Robertson, 7:44.45, so just 2/10 behind him. And third, Daniel Whiffen of Loughborough, 7:47.2. And so, wow, what a swim there. All 3 of those Loughborough swimmers going well underneath that previous BUCS championship record. And look there on the screen then, the official results on the board, a new BUCS record time of 7:44.25. And in the South Pool, we move on to event 302, the men's 200 meters backstroke. There are 4 remaining heats. We begin with heat number 1. And then on the note of prizes, in fact, could we please have Sophie Maguire down to the BUCS help desk, please, because if you won a prize courtesy of Speedo. So that's Sophie Maguire of Birmingham. Please can you go down to the BUCS help desk, please, as you've won a prize courtesy of Speedo. Oh.
Heat number 2 in the women's pool, we have got in lane 0, Daisy Gardner. In 1, Katrina Vanelli Coral. In 2, Katrina Sutherland. 3, Laura Chisholm. And in 4, Rebecca Greenwood. In 5, Veronica Hoskova. In 6, Sophia Breeze. 7, Eve Beasley. In 8, Emma Penn. And in lane 9, Natasha Scott.
In Heat 1 in the South Pool, Tybin Chapman of East Anglia clocked the quickest time there of a 2:18.44. That's a good 6 seconds faster than his entry time. In the South Pool is Heat number 2.
In first place was Rebecca Greenwood from Cardiff Met in 2 minutes 30.47, followed by Sophia Breeze from East Anglia in 2 minutes 32.73, and in third is Katrina Sutherland from Heriot Watt in 2 minutes 36.48. And we now move on to the third and final of the remaining heats of the women's 200 metres backstroke.
In Heat 2 in the South Pool, we have swimming in lane 0 from Sheffield, Jake Conlon. In 1 from King's College, Carl Savas. In 2 from East Anglia, Jack Eden. In 3 from Glasgow, Adam Miller. In lane 4 from Edger Hill, Benjamin Titchener. In 5 from Imperial, Toby Redshaw. In 6, we've got Sam Wortley from Coventry. In 7, Conan Mowbray from Strathclyde. In 8, from Imperial, Abdallah Al-Manzawi. And in 9th, from Durham, Sam Cook. Sam Woodley of Coventry takes Heat 2 in a time of 2:16.92. Second there goes to Jack Eden of East Anglia in a 2:18.11, and third to Adam Miller of Glasgow in 2:21.32. The next heat is heat 3.
Yes, Clemmy! Let's go, Cambridge!
And in the North Pool, the winner of that was Clementine Butler from Cambridge in a time of 2 minutes 27.42. Second was Kyra McDonald from Plymouth in 2:28.09. We now move on to event 303, the women's 50-meter freestyle. And in the North Pool, we've got Harriet Finn from Sheffield Hallam in lane 3, Laura Pilkington from Edinburgh Napier in 4, Jay Taylor from the University of Central Lancashire in 5, and Beth Johnston from Glasgow, Caledonia in lane 6. And touching first in the North Pool is Harriet Finn from Sheffield Hallam in 29.70. In second was Beth Johnson from Glasgow Caledonian in 32.36. Laura Pilkington from Edinburgh Napier in third in 40.03. And Jay Taylor from the University of Central Lancashire in 48.19. The results are on the scoreboard.
The official results of Heat 3 of the men's 200 backstroke are on the scoreboard. Augustus Vasey took that heat in a time of 2:08.49. He's the first of the swimmers to go sub 2:10 in the remaining heats. We now move on to heat number 4.
Gentlemen! Right, Norman.
We're coming into the final 10 meters here for our swimmers in heat number 4 of the men's 200 meters backstroke. We do have Matt Gray of Leeds Trinity who takes this heat. He does so in a time of 2:06.49. That's nearly just over a second faster than his qualifying time. Second to be Anne von Ord from Cardiff in a 2:08.81, and also third, David Pugh of Oxford in 2:09.71.
Yes, Carmen! Woo!
And touching first in the North Pool was Rachel Thompson from Durham in 29.30. And now in the North Pool is heat number 4.
In the South Pool, we move on to event 304, which is the men's 50 meters freestyle. There are 25 heats remaining. We begin with heat number 1. In heat 1, Sam Hall of Cardiff clocked a good 2.5 seconds ahead of the next fastest competitor with a time of 24.22. We still have Joseph Clark, our S6 swimmer, coming in final couple of strokes here in heat number 1. In the South Pool, it's heat number 2. Well, in the southpaw there, Chris Hughes of UCLan set the winning time of a 22.29. Significantly faster than his entry time there. Second to Jivan Ojila from Northampton in 28.74. And third to Arseny Vasilko of Aston in 31.85.
Touching first in the North Pool was Ellie Dickerson from Northumbria, followed by Chloe Lewis from Marshall and Christina Kuznaiza from Plymouth. And in North Pool we'll move on to heat number 7. Clutching first in the North Pool is Namisha Karamuyaka from Imperial at 29.69 seconds. And now, heat number 8.
In the southpaw, we move on to heat number 3. There was a disqualification in event 304, which is the men's 50 freestyle. In heat 2, lane 7 was disqualified.
And the heat 8 of the women's freestyle, the winner was Christina Tognasini from Glasgow. It's now heat number 9.
In the southpaw, it's heat 4. Now it's heat number 10. In the southpaw, Morgan Legg clocked a 27.16 to take that heat. We now move on to heat 5. In the South Pool, we move on to heat number 6.
And now we go on in the North Pool to heat number 12.
Danny Patterson of Kent takes heat 6 in the South Pool in the time at 27.2. We move on now to heat 7.
And the North Pool is now heat number 13. Touching first in the North Pool was Lisa Dutour from Plymouth. Second was Katie Woodridge from Sheffield Hallam. And third, Hannah Head from Salford. And we move on to heat number 14.
The next heat in the South Pool is heat number 8.
Touching first in the North Pool was Charlie Dunn from Bradford in 28.98. Second was Alex Nairo from Cambridge
In the South Pool, it's heat 9.
And in the North Pool, it's now heat number 16. Touching first in the North Pool was
Let's go, Justin!
28
Yeah!
Second was breaststroke from Worcester, and in third it was Mimi Marley is that from Oxford Pool.
Yep! Yep! Yep!
And in the North Pool is now heat number 17.
The next heat in the South Pool is heat number 10.
And touching first in the North Pool is Charlotte Stevenson from Liverpool at 26.81. Second was Madison from Banks from Newcastle, and in third was Madeline Brandon from Lincoln.
Yes,
And then we go
Charlotte!
to heat number 18.
The next heat in the South Pool is heat number 11.
And touching first in the North Pool, Emily Boost from Bristol at 27.49. Second was Charlotte Robbins from Cambridge, and third, Izzy Aspen from Marshall.
Let's go, Samran! Good, Samran! Get your hat on, you know.
And in the North Pool, it's now heat number 19.
In the South Pool, we move on to heat 12. In the South Pole, it's time for heat 13. In the South Pole, it's heat 14.
Freestyle. This is heat 22.
In the South Pole is heat 15. In the South Pole, it's heat 16.
We now move on to the remaining heats in the North Pool of event 305, the women's 200 metres breaststroke. There's 3 heats remaining, and this is heat number 1.
In the South Pole, it's time for heat 17. Just a quick reminder, we do need the relay declaration forms for session number 4. We do need those as quickly as possible. That's the relay declaration forms for session 4. Please do get those down to the BUCS desk. The results there on the scoreboard for Heat 17. Finlay Strachan of Glasgow takes that in 24.5. The next heat now, Heat 18.
Let's go, Jan!
And the swimmers competing in heat number 1 of the women's 200 meter breaststroke. In lane 3 we have got Laura Pilkington from Edinburgh Napier, and in lane 4 we've got Connie Denham from Lincoln.
Daniel Wong of Glasgow clocked the fastest time there in Heat 18 in a time of 24.47 out from lane 0. The next heat is Heat 19.
Go, Johnny!
Heat 19 won there by William Strachan of Glasgow in a time of 24.38. The official results on the scoreboard. We move on to Heat 20.
Touching first in the North Pool is Connie Denham in a time of 3 minutes 17.12 seconds.
There it goes. Head! 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 Go on! Yes, Tom!
Ethan Thorne went sub 24 there and 23.49 to take Heat 20. Now in the South Pool we move on to Heat 21. Lewis Choran of UCL clocks a 24.02 to take Heat 21. That's a good.
And touching there is Laura Pilkington from Edinburgh Napier, who makes a time 15 seconds inside her entry time.
In the South Pool, we move on to Heat 22. In the South Pool, it's time for heat 23.
The swimmers in heat 2 of the women's 200 metres breaststroke. In lane 0 is Sarah Jarvis from Edge Hill, and 1 Ellie Dickinson from Northumbria, 2 Phoebe Mack from Manchester, 3 Charlotte Mayer from Kent, 4 Lorna Thompson from Glasgow, 6 Leah Davidson from Aberdeen, 7 Eleanor Calcutt from Durham, and 8 Sophie Ward from York.
David Shipman clocked a 23.37 to take heat 23, and we now move on to heat 24. In heat 24, Swala Taleb clocked at 23.46, sewing for Sterling from lane number 7. Official results on the scoreboard. We now move on to the final of the remaining heats of this men's 50 freestyle. It's heat 25. And Ryan Larkin of Swansea, he touches first in a time at 22.93. He's gone sub 23. That's nearly a second quicker than his entry time here to take the final of the remaining heats. In the South Pool, we move on to event 306, which is the men's 200 meters breaststroke. We have 3 heats. It's heat number 1. Just a reminder, swimmers, we do have the Speedo retail shop open at the moment. It's open next door to the cafe, so if you want to go buy some goggles, race suits, hoodies, t-shirts, there's loads of merchandise up over there in the Speedo retail shop. It will be closing at 6:30, so you've just got under 3 hours to go buy some more stuff. So please do head over to the Speedo retail shop. It's open right next to the cafe. You can buy lots of Speedo goodies like goggles, race suits and more. We're into the final 10 meters now for our leader in Southpool, Ewan Chan of Sheffield. He clocks a time here of 2:35.87, and that's nearly 10 seconds. That's over 9 seconds faster than his entry time. Second here going to Sol Callan of Glasgow in a 2:41.15, and third to Sam Clayton of Durham in 2:41.99. In the Southpool, we move on to Heat 2.
Representing Glasgow Caledonian in lane 4 is Ellen Sutherland, and in 5 Erica Shaw representing Lancaster, and in lane 6 from Manchester, Georgia Langton.
In heat 2 of the men's 200 meters breaststroke here in the South Pool, Freddie Wilkinson of Cardiff Met, he clocked a 2:30.76 to take this heat. That's a good 4.5 seconds faster than his entry time. Second to Finn Jeffrey of Sheffield Hallam in 2:31.18, and third going to Luke Thomas of Manchester in 2:31.69. We move on to the last of the remaining heats now in the South Pool is heat 3. So in heat number 3, the last of the remaining heats in the South Pool. We have swimming in lane 0 from Leeds, Lewis Nguyen. In 2 from Bournemouth, Lucas Salil Arnefi. In 3 from Birmingham, Jamie Dark. In 4 from Cardiff, Stephen Stanley. In 5 from Sheffield Hallam, Ollie Lill. In 6 from Glasgow, Alistair Peterson. In 7 from East Anglia, Lewis Chapman. In 8 from Lincoln, James Noble. And in 9 from Oxford, Nicholas Lim. We're into the final 5 meters here, and Ollie Lill from Sheffield Hallam, he takes heat number 3 in a time of 2:24.78. And that's 3.5 seconds faster than his entry time. Second to Alistair Peterson of Glasgow in 2:26.19, and third to Jamie Dark of Birmingham in 2:28.46. Official results on the scoreboard. In the South Pool, we move on to event 308, which is the men's 400 meters individual medley. This is a heat declared winner in event. We have 4 heats. We begin with heat number 1.
and Georgia Langton in fourth place in a time of 6 minutes 26.80. The result is on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 2.
In the South Pool, the men's 400 meters individual medley. In heat number 1, we have swimming in lane 3 from Imperial, Tristan Ullett. In 4 from Edge Hill, Will Naylor. In 5 from East Anglia, Timon Chapman. And in 6 from Sheffield, Adam Tempest. And we're now into the final 100 for our swimmers here in heat number 1. Timon leading the way for East Anglia in lane number 5. He has nearly 20 meters ahead of his nearest competitor. That's Will Naylor of Edge Hill, who turned there in a 4:09.13 with 100 meters freestyle to go. All our swimmers now in heat number 1 on their freestyle 100. And Timon Chapman extending his lead here to nearly the 25-meter mark with just 25 left to go here in this 400 meters individual medley. So Timon Chapman of East Anglia, he takes heat number 1. He does so in a time of 5:07.63. He did have a significant lead here in that 400 IM. Coming in to take second in the heat is Will Naylor of Edge Hill in a 5:26.92. And we have just 10 meters to go for our last two swimmers here in heat number 1. Adam Tempest and Tristan Ulid in lanes 3 and 6. It is Adam whose comes up first, but it is corrected on the board. Just 9/100ths of a second between them. Official results on the scoreboard there. So third going to Tristan Ulid of Imperial in 5:51.9. In the South Pool, we move on to heat 2.
Touching first into the North Pool was Maisie Thornton from Surrey in a time of 4 minutes 51.02. Touching second was Anya Priest from Nottingham Trent in 4 minutes 52.98. And in third was Laura Sharp from Swansea in 4 minutes 53.81.
Yes, Ellie! Let's go! Woo!
The confirmed results from heat number 2 are now on the main board. And we have disqualification for Gia Alcaraz from Aberdeen.
Yes, Ellie, let's go! You! Woo!
In the South Pool, at the moment we have heat 2 with the men's 400 IM, and we have swimming in lane 0 from Bangor, Ethan Wright. In 1 from Surrey, Matt Sullivan. In 2 from Southampton, Sandy Jarvis. In 3 from Manchester, Christian Ty. In 5 from Surrey, Ben Tritton. In 6 we've got Jack Turrell from Warwick. In 7, Theo Clark from Sheffield Hallam. In 8 from Swansea, Aidan Cannon, and in 9 from Birmingham, Harry Badnell. In the South Pool, we're into the final 50 meters freestyle now for our leader in lane number 5, Ben Tritton. Apologies there. Theo Clark clocks first in a 4:27.12. He takes that heat number 2 for Sheffield Hallam. And that's a good 20 seconds, 20 and a half faster than his entry time. Second to Ben Tritton of Surrey in 4:36.79. And third to Ethan Wright to Bangor in 4:41.53. In the South Pool, we move on to the penultimate heat, Heat 3. In Heat 3, we've got swimming in 0, Dom Bissett. In 1, Benjamin Chuyan. In 2, Miles Drabwell. In lane 3, Jamie Ferguson. In 4, Thomas Beamer. In lane 5, Tom Robinson. In 6, Joshua Harris. In 7, Cyril Hansen-Schlepper. In 8, Harper Whitehead. And in 9, Ben Newell.
The confirmed results of the 400 metres heat 3 are now on the board, and there was disqualification from Michaela Glenister from Stirling. And we now move on to the final event in the North Pool for this session. It's event 309, women's 200 metres medley relay. There are 8 heats, and this is heat number 1. This is going to be an interesting race because you've got all 3 of the University of Central Lancashire teams in it. In lane 0, it's the Central Lancashire C team. In 1, Gloucestershire A. In 2, Northampton. In 3, Gloucestershire B. In 4, Bristol B. In 5, Marjon B. In 6, Chester. In 7, Northampton B. In 8, Central Lancashire B. And in 9, Central Lancashire A.
We're into the final 100 for our swimmers here in heat number 3 of the 400 meters individual medley. Leading out here is Tom Robinson of Aberdeen. He's currently got about a 10-meter lead. He already was leading at the halfway mark with a 2:07.35, and currently he holds a lot of clear water behind him, and chasing him at the moment in second is Miles Drabwell of Bath. He turns now with 15 meters to go in a 4 minutes .3, with Tom Robinson in a 3:54. So final 25 now for our swimmers here in heat number 3. It is a heat declared winning event, and we do have one final heat coming after this one. But Tom Robinson of Aberdeen, he's had a strong swim here. He clocks a 4:24.87. And that is over 2 seconds faster than his entry time. Second going to Miles Drabwell of Bath in a 4:30.73. That again 2 seconds faster than his entry time. And third to Thomas Beamer of Swansea in 4:32.96.
And touching first in the North Pool in lane 4 is Bristol B, with a time of 2 minutes 6.62. Second is University of Central Lancashire B in 2:12.15. And third is Northampton A in 2 minutes 16.64.
In the South Pool now, we move on to the final heat of the men's 400 meters individual medley. It's heat 4.
There was 2 disqualifications in heat number 1. Gloucestershire B in lane 3 and Marjan B in lane 5. The official result is on the scoreboard. And we move on to heat number 2.
In the South Pool, we have this final heat of the men's 400 IM. We have in lane 0 from Edinburgh, Igor Sovolov. In 1 from Stirling, Pierce Greening. In 2 from Loughborough, Ben Harrison. In lane 3 from Imperial, John Britton. In 4 from Loughborough, Charlie Hutchinson, who is leading at the halfway mark. He turned in a 2:01.22. Sorry, lane 5, we've got Will Bell from Loughborough. In 6, from Stirling, Angus Allison. In 7, from Bath, William Riley. In 8, from Sheffield Hallam is Adam Wilson. And in 9, from Manchester Met, Jay Manners. We're into the final 100 now for our swimmers here in heat number 4, and Charlie Hutchison of Loughborough leading from lane number 4. He does have the fastest entry time by nearly 4 seconds, and currently at the moment he's got about a 3-meter lead over William Riley of Bath as we come into the final 50. Lying in third, about 5 meters behind William, is Will Bell of Loughborough. He turns there in a central lane of 5, currently with a 3:49.76 at the 3:50 mark. But just now 20 meters to go for our leader, Charlie Hutchinson of Loughborough. He has led from the beginning here in this 400 meters individual medley into the final 5, head down, and he clocks a 4:11.21 to touch first in this heat declared winning event. Second to William Riley in 4:14.66, and third to Will Bell of Loughborough in 4:18.33. But what a dominant swim there from Charlie Hutchison in that 400 meters individual medley.
And in the North Pool, it's now heat number 3.
Let's go! Let's go, Sarah! Up! 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 Up!
And the women's
Up!
medley
Let's
team
go,
in
Justin!
St Andrews A. In 1, King's College A. In 2, Strathclyde. In 3, is York B. In 4, Cambridge B. 5, Bournemouth A. 6, Oxford Group B. 7, Edge Hill. 8, St George's. And in 9, Heriot.
In the South Pool, we move on to event 310, which is the men's 4x50 medley relay. There are 8 heats. We begin with heat 1.
Up! Up! Let's go!
after session number 3, well, immediately after session number 3 closes, we will be doing the para presentation from this morning and this afternoon's races. We will be making para presentations straight after the conclusion of session number 3. So could all those athletes who have won a para presentation to medal please make themselves immediately available after the end of the session. I will name them shortly once we've commenced the next race.
And in the North Pool, the winning team was Bournemouth A in 2 minutes 6.16. And in the North Pool, there has been 2 disqualifications. Bournemouth A and St George's. Bournemouth A in lane 5 and St George's in lane 8.
In the South Pool in heat number 1 of the men's 4x50 medley relay. We're into the final 10 meters for our leaders. That's King's College B over in lane number 8. They clock a time there of 1:58.81 to take the heat. Second to Bournemouth in 1:59.12 and third to Edge Hill in 2 minutes, 0.58. In the South Pool, we move on to heat 2. As we mentioned earlier, we will be doing the para presentation straight after the end of this session. We do only have a few heats left of these medley relays for both women and men's. So the para presentations we will need for following athletes: Tony Shaw from Stirling, Abby Kane from Stirling, Zara Maluli from Leeds, Owen Say from Nottingham, Ollie Carter from Stirling and Joseph Clark from Sheffield Hallam. So could those athletes please make themselves available at the BUCS desk immediately after the end of these relays, because we will be having the para presentations at the end of the session. In the Southpaw, Manchester Met A take heat number 2 in a time of 1:45.66. Second, going to Cardiff A in a 1:47.32. And third to Cardiff B team in a 1:50.45. Apologies there, that time got updated for Cardiff B. It's a 1:49.49. In the South Pool, it's heat 3.
And as we enter the last 50 metres of the women's open 200 metres, it's Manchester A leading the way, quickly followed by Cardiff A. Touching first is East Anglia A in 2:02.39, followed by Manchester A in 2:04.43 and Cardiff A in 2:04.83. And that is the fastest time so far in the qualifying for East Anglia A. And the official result is on the scoreboard. And now in the North Pool is heat number 5.
In the South Pool, 1:46.6 was the fastest time set there in heat number 3 by Bristol A team in lane number 5. Second was Oxford BUCS A in a 1:50.86, and third went to Bristol B team over in lane number 8 in 1:52.18. The official results are on the scoreboard now, and we did have a disqualification there in heat number 3 for lane 8. In the South Pool is heat 4.
As we Sheffield Hallam are closing down, but they're not going to pass on now as unexpected pull away, and they're going to touch first in a time of 2 minutes 5.19. Second is Sheffield Hallam in 207.07, and third is Lancaster in 208.42. Number 6.
In the South Pool, it was a close finish there with the two teams over in the far lanes, Plymouth A and Glasgow A. Plymouth A, led from the beginning, and they didn't touch first in 143.7, just ahead of Glasgow A, 144.17, and third going to Manchester B in 149.95. And the results on the scoreboard, so 143.7, the new fastest time to beat. And we now move on to heat number 5.
Touching first in the heat 6 is Sheffield Hallam C in a time of 1:55.76, which is the fastest time of the heat so far. In second place was Birmingham A in 1:58.31, and then third was BUCS in 1:58.75. And the results are confirmed on the board now.
Let's go, Cambridge! Yes, Sophie! Let's go, Cambridge! Let's go!
And the non-kill becomes the penultimate heat, which heat number 7.
Let's
The official results on the scoreboard for Heat 5, Newcastle A clocked at 1:46.53. In the South Pool, we move on to the first of the cyclically seeded heats. It's Heat 6. And just a quick reminder again for our para athletes, we will be doing para presentations immediately after the end of this session, which is coming very soon. We're into the final few heats here of the 4x50 medley relay. We will need Tony Shaw from Stirling, Abby Kane from Stirling, Zara Maluli from Leeds, Owen Say from Nottingham, Ollie Carter from Stirling, and Joseph Clark from Sheffield Hallam. We will need those athletes for para presentations at the BUCS desk immediately at the close of this afternoon's session of swimming. And Edinburgh A team take Heat 6. They do so in a time of 1:39.75. That is now the time to beat for Essential Lane in the A final. That will be tomorrow afternoon, these finals. We will have two sets, A final, top 10 teams, and B, the second 10. In the South Pool, it's now the penultimate heat, Heat 7.
The women's medley in lane 0 is Birmingham B, in 1 Aberdeen B, in 2 Edinburgh A, in 3 Leeds A, in 4 Swansea B, in 5 Loughborough, in 6 Swansea A, in 7 Lancaster A, 8 Surrey A, and in 9 Cardiff A.
At the halfway mark in the South Pool, it's Swansea A team who lead the way. They clocked a 51.79. At the halfway mark, they've got about a 5-meter lead over Surrey B, who go alongside them in those golden 2 lanes in the middle in lane number 5. Also coming in closely, Manchester A, who turned 3rd with 50 to go.
Swansea A. Results up, and that includes disqualification for Edinburgh A in lane 2.
The official results for Heat 7 of the men's on the scoreboard. We move on to now the final heat of this afternoon session of the men's 4x50 medley relay. It's heat number 8.
That concludes the swimming in the North Pool for this afternoon's session. Please join me in thanking the referee and their team of officials as they now leave the poolside.
After the first 50, Birmingham A lead the way there with a 25.77. Only swimmer going sub 26 for that first 50 meters backstroke. These swimmers, we've seen the 1:38.39 clocked by Swansea in the last heat. They'll be looking to go faster or similar for a central lane in tomorrow's final. As mentioned, we will be having A finals and B finals for the relays, and relays are double points for BUCS. But as we come through this butterfly leg, we do have 3 teams out in front at the moment by 3/4 of a body length. That is in 8, Birmingham A, in 6, Stirling, and in 4, Loughborough. As we come into the final takeover, final touching first, there was 1:18.59 for Stirling into the final takeover. They're being chased here by Loughborough and turning pretty simultaneously there. Sandwich in between them is Sheffield Hallam B, who are trying to make a comeback here through the central lane of 5. Also in 8 is Birmingham, and it is Birmingham who clock a 1:41.56 to take the final heat. A second to Loughborough in 1:41.75, and third Stirling in 1:41.9. So that is the last of those heats this afternoon. And so that concludes the swimming in the South Pool. So will you please join me in giving a huge round of applause for our officials as they leave the poolside. And we're really excited. We're about to get underway with the para presentations. This is the presentations we'll be having at the end of the session. So if I had mentioned your name earlier, please do make yourselves available if you haven't already. but we will be having para presentations before we conclude this afternoon's session.